Hi, grade sixes. This week we are talking about experimental probability. Probability is used to make predictions for marketing, research, insurance, investments, and games of chance. It is based on the number of possible outcomes of an event and the likelihood that one of them will occur. For example, let's talk about tossing a coin. What are the possible outcomes when we toss a coin? Let's say if you flip this quarter here, it can either land on heads or tails. So your possible outcome is either heads or tails each time you flip it. How about if you roll a dice? What are the possible outcomes? Well, it could land on 1, it could land on 2, it could land on 3, it could land on 4, it could land on 5, or it could land on 6. And since there are 6 possible outcomes here, we know that the chances that it is going to land, let's say, on 4 are going to be 1 out of 6. Let's look at one that has more possibilities. If we pick a sock from a drawer containing 3 red socks, 2 black socks, and 4 white socks, what are the possible outcomes? So you can see we have red sock, red sock, red sock, black sock, black sock, it's also right here. Or we'll do this one in yellow, even though that's not white. White sock, white sock, white sock, white sock. In total, we have 3 plus 2, 5 plus 4 equals 9. So there's 9 possibilities. So what are the chances if you're going to pick a red sock? It would be 3 out of 9. What are the chances that you would pick a black sock? Well, the chances of picking a black sock would be a black sock would be 2 out of 9. And then how about a white sock? Write it like this. A white sock would be 4 out of 9. All right, now when we're talking about experimental probability, one way to find the probability of an event is to actually conduct an experiment. So what I did right here is I assumed that it's 3 over 9 because there's 3 red socks and 9 in total, so that would be the probability. But you would actually perform a number of trials and see how many times an event we are interested in occurs. So for example, you would actually go and pick these socks out of a drawer and collect that data. For example, experimental probability of throwing a head when we flip a coin, we would flip a coin a specific number of times and see how many times a head showed up. So the experimental probability is equal to the number of successes over the number of trials. We write it like this. Experimental, so P, equals number of successes over number of trials. For example, let's say that I tossed the coin 6 times, so it would be 6 trials, and I actually got 4 heads. This would be representative of experimental probability. Okay, let's look at an example together. Suppose we threw a die 50 times and ended up with the following results. Okay, all right, now just pretend that this is the data that you collected from throwing a die 50 times. When you threw it, you got a 1 8 times. You got a 2 10 times. You got a 3 7 times. You got a 4 9 times. You got a 5 7 times and a 6 9 times. This is experimental probability again because you are actually participating in the experiment. From your experiment, if somebody asks you what the chances are of getting a 1, it would be 8 out of 50. And again, that 50 is there. You know this. That 50 there is because you rolled it 50 times, so the probability is out of 50. What are your chances of getting a 2? 10 out of 50. What are your chances of getting a 3? 7 out of 50. To make this even more clear for you, so for example, a 3 would be 7 out of 50. What are your chances of getting a 4? Well, you rolled a 4 9 times, so it would become 9 out of 50, and so on and so on. All right, if you were asked to solve what are your chances of getting numbers that are less than 3, how would you do that? Well, first of all, what are the numbers less than 3? Our numbers less than 3 are 1 and 2. So from this experiment, the chances of rolling a number less than 3 is going to be 8 plus 10, which is 18. And again, it's written right here, but it's 18, and that's your rolling a 1 or rolling a 2 out of 50 rolls total. Let's go over this one. If somebody asked you if you wanted to solve for even numbers, how would you do that? So we're solving for even numbers here. Our even numbers, if we look here, are 6, 4, and 2. So 10 plus 9 is 19, plus 9 is 28. And there you have it right here as well. 10 plus 9 plus 9 equals 28. And so that would be 28 out of 50. All right, grade 6s, I hope that helped. And as usual, email us with any questions. And otherwise, have an amazing day. Miss you all so much. Take care.